what I can do and the way that I can do it. And we think it's a matter of not trusting others, but the reality is we don't trust ourselves. We don't trust ourselves and the God who gave us the dream. We want to control everything, but what we need to commit to is that I'm called to the vision. And so I have to trust others in order to trust myself, that I can delegate. That even if someone else or other people are participating in executing this vision, that it will still be what it needs to be. I don't need to have my hand in everything. And if I'm attached to everything, then I'm really not committed to anything, especially not committed to myself. So I just wanted to encourage us to be clear about asking for help, pivoting, adjusting your path. Those are not deviations from success. Those are tools for your success. And then I also want to encourage us as well that when it comes to establishing something new where we've never been there before, that I want to agree with what our other coach here said and encourage us to plan. And one of the things I encourage my clients to do and that I work with them in doing is creating a vision cast or a vision map, but we reverse engineer success is what I'm saying. So we don't start with, well, I'm here and I want to go there. We start with, where do I want to end up and what are the steps that I need to take to get there? And so it might mean working that job that you don't love for 6 extra months, but if that means you have freedom later because you've established security, that's not failing. Even if everybody around you was on their entrepreneur journey, that's not failing. Mm-hmm. That's part of your pathway. And so if you know where you're going, it's so much easier to reverse engineer your success and give yourself grace on that journey.
I love that. You know what? I mean, there are so many people who, like you said, you and Monee talked about wearing this S on your chest. And we do that because that's just been ingrained in us. Do this, do that. Even in corporate America, you know, the career coach talked about you have to know when it's time to leave. Sometimes, and I hear a lot of people say, because I work in career services, you know, got laid off. I knew it was coming, but it's also time for me to go. I knew it was time for me to go 3 months ago. So you have to start preparing to leave. Now I want to transition to Chelsea Brown. And Chelsea Brown is an entrepreneur, Army veteran, and community leader. Her and I have been connected on social media for a while. She services good food, and she's the owner of Brunch at Chelsea's, a catering business known for its creative and highly quality brunch services. With nearly 12 years in the U.S. Army Reserves, Sergeant Brown has dedicated her time to mentoring soldiers and helping them with career development. So you all, let's welcome Chelsea. Chelsea, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you transitioned from corporate America to owning your own business.
Yes. My name is Chelsea Brown. I'm originally from a city called Winter Garden, Florida, a few miles outside of Orlando, but I spent most of my time here in Atlanta, Georgia, where I graduated from Georgia State University with a bachelor's in communication. So my entrepreneurship journey really started before I actually started working like a corporate setting. And my background is in sales. So started in 2019. Before I did that, I had a media company called Chatting with Chelsea. So as Kamara said, we've been connected through social media for so many years because both of our backgrounds was in communications and journalism as well. So my entrepreneur journey has been around before me working, like I said, in a corporate setting. I originally wanted a brick and mortar restaurant and a food truck. I was inspired by Kate Michelle. She had a restaurant here a long time ago called Puff and Pedals off of Edgewood. So if you know, you know, in the Atlanta area. So that really kind of inspired me to want to start my own luxury food service business. But of course, having to pivot, I didn't have the funds to start a restaurant, didn't have the funds to start my own food truck. I was like, something needs to shake. I have this business, I have this beautiful concept, I need to do something. So I started a pop-up restaurant. Logistically, it's a lot that goes into it. Hiring a team, finding a building, licensing, etc. So the pandemic happened in 2020. A lot of restaurants were not open. A lot of people were still trying to have gatherings with their families, and somebody needed to cook. So I got this one phone call from my friend girl. This is the first time I've ever catered for free ever. I've been having my business for 5 years now. And she was like, Chelsea, I need you to come cook for me. And I was like, okay, girl, I never cooked for a large party before. I don't have like a culinary background. And she was like, I don't care. I'll buy the food. I was like, it's your birthday. I'll do it for free. So that first time me cooking for her, my catering business like literally took off, and it's been like that ever since. And also too, with my military background, it really inspired me to actually have good customer service, being passionate about others, wanting to lead, especially with me having a team now, and with the Atlanta Brunch Festival happening this weekend where Brunch at Chelsea's would be vendoring, having a team and having to, mitigate, take care of everything logistically. Is a lot that goes into being, a caterer. There's some times where my hands have been cut, like blood coming out of my hands with a knife. So it is really sweat, blood, and tears. As we mentioned earlier, I have 16-hour days almost every other weekend. Right. So it's a lot.
So you're booked and busy.
I'm always booked and busy. Yes. So and also too, I'm pretty sure we're gonna touch on it with social media. Giving us opportunities. I had the opportunity to audition for Next Level Chef with Chef Gordon Ramsay. So, yeah, just so having to be consistent with your business and whatever you have going on. You just never know who's watching. So, it's a few things that we have a lot going on within this year with my new nonprofit, Chelsea Cares. We feed one homeless shelter a month here in Atlanta. So, if anybody knows any nonprofits or homeless shelters that need some good home cooking, Chelsea Cares will be there because I care.
Clapping and supporting. That means you need to talk to Monee Williams. So you can get at least one or two VAs to increase how many businesses.
Like accreditations.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And I actually know of a few nonprofit organizations where you can go into the home and cook for them. There's like a women's human sex trafficking shelter and like house, and I think they love your
absolutely
services.
Yeah. So we did each month we have different variation of shelters. I think in November we did a women's shelter, December men's shelter, January we did a youth shelter, February was too busy, but March we are looking for a shelter. Maybe it's a children's shelter.
We're not a shelter, but we are a nonprofit.
Yeah, so definitely
want
to work with other like nonprofits, but of course priorities is definitely being like the homeless right now. So
I love that.
absolutely.
And we're gonna chit chat offline because you do a lot of philanthropic work and you work with the homeless, so we're gonna talk about that. Now on to Carla Morrison. She's a trailblazer for aspiring entrepreneurs. As a serial entrepreneur, she has established a boutique public relations firm called Chit Communications. I just like that name. Y'all like that? And a global nonprofit organization dedicated to empowering women and girls. So we're on the road for her. Can you please tell us what is the event that you have going on in DeKalb County?
So we are doing one of our 3 programs, which is our Women's History Month program, called Celebrating Women of Color. And the last part of it changes every time we do the programs. So this year it's the DeKalb Women Speak. And since we just elected a new CEO, a first-time black woman CEO in DeKalb County, we have CEO Lorraine Cochran-Johnson as one of our speakers. And we also are highlighting a woman in history, the first black woman sheriff for DeKalb County, which is Melody Maddox. In addition to that, my partner in this is our Superior Court clerk, Deborah DuBarry, who's also a black woman. So DeKalb County is representing with the black women leadership there. And we're excited. We have young ladies coming who will be involved from my group, Sisters of Today and Tomorrow, but also from Champion Middle School in DeKalb County. We have another young lady who is dynamic, who does different impressions of black women leaders from the past, like Harriet Tubman and so on. And she will reenact. She's a one-woman show, and she will reenact those things. We're going to have food, fun, line dancing, poetry, music. It's just going to be an all-out good time for women and girls. So I invite all of you ladies to come because it's it's a vast age. We have our girls who are 11 to 18, but then it's women from 20 to, I would say 65, but we've had women as old as 90 at our events, because at one point we did them at Big Bethel Village, which is a senior yeah. Oh, you know, okay. So that's what we got going on. We're excited. This falls under Chit Chat Communications, community engagement activities, but also Sisters of Today and Tomorrow, because we have our young ladies involved.
So I see a lot of women around the table shaking their heads. That means y'all need to connect after this.
Mm-hmm.
There should be a lot of partnership, a lot of networking.
Yeah.
And just side note, because I'm getting a lot of messages and DMs. I think we're going to host probably a day networking event or a day mixer. So maybe from 12 to 2. So if you want to be a part of that, you can DM. It's going to be invite only, but I like the energy in this room. So I want to keep that going. Before we go to break, I want to make sure that you know about Sejal Brownlee. Did I say that right?
Sejal, yes.
Sejal Brownlee. And I want to make sure that I read her bio. And she is also known as Coach Sage. She's the founder of Endless Consultants and Life Coaching, a firm dedicated to providing HR consulting, career coaching, and life coaching. So she has those services. Can you please tell them what's your website?
My website is www.endlessconsultants.com, and you can also find me on Instagram at endless.consultants. So please follow and interact. I look forward to working with so many of you.
Yes, and then also Monee Williams. She is the founder and CEO of Time Manage LLC. This is the woman who's going to help you scale. So we're getting out the mindset of having an S on our chest. She can help you find an affordable VA. And at Time Manage, she said they thrive on connecting the decision makers with understanding unique needs and utilizing our experiences to streamline processes. The number one word that I keep hearing is workflow. Workflow. So what is your website and how can people find you?
You can find me on all social channels at Time Managed LLC. And my website is also timemanagedllc.com. And managed is past tense. So.
Okay, awesome. We'll be right back after a little bit of Usher.
Peace up, A-Town.